I don't know when this became a thing. It has to be within the last 5 years. Schedule releases have become some kind of a comedy skit competition between all of the teams that reveal their schedules in funny ways. They use I saw the ready for this. Buffalo went with a pun where the GM asked Josh Allen, how should we reveal the schedule? And Josh Allen said, just use AI. That's what everybody does. So then they cut to the GM having Allen Iverson reveal the schedule.
Oh, that's well done.
Just a well-placed pun. There's Minecraft from the Chargers. There's jokes. There's all this stuff. The Panthers decided to make Xavier Legette the comedic centerpiece, with the joke being, right, he's famous for his accent and kind of being difficult to understand if you're not familiar with his South Carolina upbringing. And they made the joke that that's not actually how he talks. He is like a Rhodes Scholar British accent speaker of like Shakespearean eloquence, but he wanted to be an NFL player, so he thought a Southern accent would help, was kind of the big bit. Either Xavier Legette is going to be a star in the NFL, or this offseason is not going to make a lot of sense looking back on it 5 years from now. The man is everywhere. He's having a famous offseason. He's the center of the schedule reveal. He was representing the entire NFL, not just the Panthers, the NFL at the Kentucky Derby as their social correspondent. Everything he does goes viral. He's kind of a star without having yet produced any star production in the NFL level. So either the Panthers are promoting it because they know something and they're just like, yeah, wait till you see what he can do. He was hurt last year. Or we're going to look back on this time and go, remember when they tried to make Xavier Legette a thing? As he signs his third one-year contract with somebody else, as he becomes Marquez Valdez-Scantling or something. That's what we're looking at here. I hope it's the former, right? I hope that the reason the Panthers are promoting this guy so much is because they know something we don't, and that's that he's about to explode opposite of Teteroa McMillan. Everything else going on with the schedule, we already knew the opponents, right? So that wasn't news yesterday. We learned the order of the games, we learned the times of the games, and we learned if there were any international or primetime games. No international games for the Panthers. They did get one primetime game, a Monday nighter, late November 24th against the Niners. Dave Canales, the head coach, spoke to the media today kind of in reaction to the schedule. This is Dave Canales on having a primetime game scheduled for this year.
I just love the opportunities to be able to play those types of games. There's a couple of extra cameras, and you get to play under the lights playing against a great opponent. And those are the types of games that we need, to become who we are. And the challenge is to go on the road, go across the country and, really feel the high stakes games, as we build this and we compete to win the division. The hope is that we are working ourselves into the mentality of this is another game. We go about our preparation and our work the same way, so that we can go out there and just play our best.
Dave Canales is nothing if not consistent.
I feel great about playing football right now.
Hey, so did you hear, Dave, the schedule came out yesterday. You have to play the AFC All-Stars on the dark side of the moon, and you're going to be playing.
I feel great about playing football right now.
You're going to be playing on 2 days rest, and most of your team is suspended. This is an opportunity for, we've been practicing on playing in the dark, completely no light. So this is a good time for us to show what we've been working on. Our backups are actually excited for the opportunity with everyone suspended. He is nothing if not consistent. He was asked about the early road schedule. I do think, right, as the schedule comes out, there's, I think, only really two things that you can take from it. You already knew your opponents. You already knew most of it. I think who you're playing in the opener in the first month matters because you get to see how your season will get rolling. And I think the days rest and travel and those sort of things are things you pay attention to. 3 of the first 4 games for the Canes. This first time. I went over an hour before making the Panthers-Canes mistake today. The the first month of the season, first 4 games for the Panthers, includes 3 games on the road, including opening at Jacksonville and then the next week at Arizona. Dave Canales talked about the road games early in the year.
I just always look at road games as an opportunity for us to grow. I think the thing that people miss that happens when you do travel is you become closer as a team. You know, you're all in the hotel. We're not going to our own beds, you know, at night, kind of leading into the game. And so you travel together. You're in the hotel together. The meetings, the in-betweens, guys will go find dinner, you know, right before our night meetings. And so you know, just I've always seen those opportunities as a chance for us to bond and kind of grow closer. The fact that it happens early in the season is a good thing. You know, as we figure out who we are, we're going to have the core of what we're doing from an X's and O's standpoint, but we're going to see our team emerge, you know, and to go and play in somebody else's stadium, you know, we talk to the guys like, hey, we're all we got. We're all we need. This is our group right here. And you got to stay together. The energy has to come from our bench for the guys playing and to support each other that way.
Goodness, he is optimistic and consistent. I mean, he went into, you start with 3 of your first 4 games on the road with a team with a lot of new, and you want to get off on a good start. How do you feel? The players get to go to dinner together. We're not sleeping in our own beds. How could you get better than this? We have meetings together. At home, I guess we have our meetings by Zoom. I don't like. There's Dave Canales. It's the funny part is when he was hired and this vibe was presented, I did have the thought on like, is this really who he is, or is this who he thinks he should be? Because he came up under Pete Carroll, who really is that kind of like energy, high, optimistic. I was like, is he thinking this is what a head coach is, or is this exactly what he is as a person? It is. What are we, a year later? It is exactly who he is. He did not falter or slip up once. First month of the season, again, I think you care about the opponents. I think you care about the travel. They play at Jacksonville, at Arizona, versus Atlanta, at New England. It seems like as far as the story goes, what the bloggers will blog about, seems like a lot of cool wide receiver matchups for Tepper and McMillan. McMillan versus Hunter, right? The 2 first wide receivers drafted are going to match up against each other in the first game. Tepper versus Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Couple of 6'4" wide receivers taken in the top 10 in back-to-back years. At versus Atlanta, first home game. It's Tepper McMillan versus Drake London. If you paid attention to the pre-draft stuff, the most often comped player for Tepper McMillan was probably Drake London. Similar body type, similar route running style. But the reality is those guys are never going to be on the field together except for Travis Hunter, but that's a different beast. Like McMillan isn't going to have to cover Harrison Jr. He's not going to have to cover London. He's not going to have to cover Hunter. That's going to fall on Michael Jackson Jr. That's going to have to fall on whoever plays free safety, in addition to Trayvon Merrick at strong safety, likely, maybe free. We'll see how that plays out. And J.C. Horn and Damani Richardson or Shaw Smith-Wade, that first month, particularly those first 3 games, Trevor Lawrence looking for Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, Kyler Murray looking for Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Penix looking for Drake London and the running backs out of the backfield and everybody else they have in that offense. That young secondary for the Panthers, young might not even be the right way. That kind of 50% secondary. I don't know how to describe this because I trust J.C. Horn, I trust Merrick, and then the other 2 less trust, I guess would be the way to say it. The other 2 are going to be tested in a big way in the first 3 weeks of the season. If you come out of those first 3 games and you don't want to tear your hair out watching the secondary, I think that's a really good indicator for the rest of the season. If you come out of those first 3 games and you've been burnt for 100 yards and a touchdown from each of those 3 big-name wide receivers, you're going to look around and go, Bryce, you better score a lot of points. And Bryce, we might have to win a couple 35-31s. We might have to win a couple 38s, 35s. You know what I'm getting at here. So that's what we'll learn early. Other than that, who they play, and so much can change by like week 8, right? One injury in a team that you were terrified of at this point is not scary at all. Or one glow up in a team that you thought penciled in as a win, well, we might have to go earn that one. It is a It is a different beast. Just, yesterday's world is not today's world. Or vice versa. Tomorrow's world is not today's world. Where's Doc Brown? I need to get my time travel right.
Sounds like a Doctor Who episode.
There you go.